We had just over a decade with the Aventador, and now its successor is finally here. Say hello to the 2024 Revuelto, a two-seat supercar that Lamborghini bills as the near future for high-performance motoring. There's plenty of tech in this new car, but if you aren't ready for a world without a bonkers V12 Lambo, trust us when we say you have nothing to fear. There's much to discuss, most of which has already been previewed in Lamborghini's teasers for the powertrain, chassis, and interior. To refresh your memory, the heart of this flagship is a new 6.5-liter V12, supplemented by 3 electric motors to produce a combined 1,001 horsepower, 1,000.7 to be specific. Power reaches all 4 wheels through a new 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, and an all-electric mode for this plug-in hybrid is available, one of 13 different configurations when you count drive, battery, and region settings. The Revuelto utilizes a new monocoque chassis that Lamborghini says is the first to have a fully carbon fiber front structure. Performance-wise, 62 miles per hour arrives in 2.5 seconds, and 124 miles per hour takes less than 7 seconds. Flat out, the latest Lambo will exceed 217 miles per hour. And if you want to roll quietly through town, you can select all-electric mode for approximately 6 miles, provided the battery has a full charge. That sums up the teasers we've seen in the last few weeks. We'll take a deeper dive into these subjects later on, but now, let's jump into something you haven't seen yet, the body. The Revuelto represents a new design language for Lamborghini. Yes, there are plenty of wild angles and some classic elements baked into its shape, such as the Diablo's floating blade on the rear fenders and Murcielago's inclined front end. Looking at the Revuelto in profile, we wouldn't blame you if you felt major Aventador vibes, but through it all you'll see a recurring Y theme. Headlights and taillights have a Y structure. The large side air intakes point forward like an arrow, injecting more Y into the mix. The center of the dash incorporates a striking Y shape as well. Why all the Y? Lamborghini associates this with modern, aerospace elements, and when you look at an F-35 Lightning II fighter jet, it makes a bit more sense. Combined with angular body lines and hexagonal patterns at the rear for the exhaust outlets, the Revuelto does have something of a stealth fighter feel about it. The whole aircraft theme isn't an accident either. Lamborghini refers to the Revuelto's driver as the pilot, with the passenger being the co-pilot. It's not all about the future, though. When pilot and co-pilot exit the vehicle, they still do it using scissor doors pioneered by the 50-year-old Lamborghini Countach. The Revuelto's design isn't purely an exercise in science fiction. Side fins behind the front wheels are designed to help funnel air into the intakes along the concave of the door. The recessed roof channels air to the rear wing while also offering a bit more headroom for occupants inside. The front splitter distributes air away from the front wheels, while at the back, the wildest rear diffuser ever used on a Lambo generates downforce while cooling the engine. The rear wing is active and automatically adjusts as needed for the situation, or it can be manually controlled between 3 modes for minimum or maximum downforce. Does it make a difference? Compared to the Aventador Ultimate, Lamborghini says the Revuelto is 61% more efficient and generates 66% more downforce in high-load situations. That will certainly put its custom-made Bridgestone Potenza Sport tires to the test, staggered to measure 265 35ths R20 in front and 345 30ths R21 at the back. A larger wheel tire combo with 265 30ths R21s at the front and 355 25ths R22s for the rear are available. And if you have trouble making decisions, you probably don't want to hear about the 400 various color choices available for the exterior. See, we told you there was much to discuss. Now let's talk about interior design. As mentioned, the Y motif is present inside, but it's the 3 digital screens that stand out. None are large. The driver gets a 12.3-inch digital readout, with a very modest 8.4-inch portrait screen in the middle. However, the passenger gets a narrow 9.1-inch screen that also displays vital vehicle information. All 3 displays can be swiped to share info, with Lamborghini emphasizing the passenger's role as a co-pilot. By handling things such as climate functions, navigation, or music selection, the driver is left to focus on driving. And with 7 drive settings with various sub-functions, there are 13 modes to choose from. Lamborghini is also aiming to be more environmentally friendly, really, with the Revuelto. The automaker has new processes for manufacturing materials that are more efficient. Upholstery combines various leathers with microfiber made from recycled polyester. And similar to the exterior, there are no less than 70 color options available for the cockpit. When it comes to advanced tech, the Revuelto is no Mercedes S-Class, but there are upgraded tech systems and over-the-air updates to keep everything fresh. That includes an advanced navigation system, and Amazon Alexa is plugged in to help control everything through voice commands. Through the Lamborghini Unica app, owners can access features like door locks remotely and preset certain driving parameters to monitor should someone else be allowed to drive it. If a non-sanctioned joyride, aka vehicle theft, takes place, a built-in tracking system may help you get the car back. The V12 is alive and well. It's time to revisit the Revuelto's powertrain, because it's something. A 6.5-liter Lambo V12 sounds familiar, but this is an all-new engine that's both lighter and more powerful than its predecessor. It develops 813 horsepower at 9,250 revolutions per minute and 535 pound-feet, all without the need for turbochargers. On the hybrid side, there are 2 electric motors for the front wheels and a third motor mounted within the new 8-speed wet dual-clutch gearbox, another first for Lamborghini. It's mounted transversely behind the engine instead of in front, making room for the small 3.8 kWh battery pack in what used to be the transmission tunnel. Yes, that battery is very small, but it's enough to give the Revuelto an electric-only range of about 6 miles. It's also small enough for the engine to charge it back up in about 6 minutes. The idea here obviously isn't for frugal motoring, but instead as a performance supplement to the engine with the added bonus of zero-emission operation to access areas where engine bans might be in place. With all-wheel drive capability, the Revuelto offers 1,001 horsepower to the ground, or a feather-light 180 horsepower in EV mode, with the front e-axle and transmission-mounted electric motor providing zero-emissions all-wheel drive. Now let's discuss about performance and plug-in. Lamborghini calls the Revuelto a high-performance electrified vehicle, swapping in HPEV for PHEV. But whatever words you use to describe it, the Revuelto has some intense hardware to help it go fast around corners as well as in a straight line. Foremost is a new rear axle steering system, which helps improve turn-in and stability. Response is further enhanced via the stiff structure. In addition to the robust carbon fiber monocoque, elements like the rear shock towers and engine cradle have been integrated into one piece, reducing weight, complexity, and flex. For the first time, you can get a Lamborghini with electric torque vectoring. Given the spiffy name of Lamborghini Dinamica Veicolo 2.0, it can send specific power outputs to each wheel where it will do the most good. The system can also activate individual brakes to guide the car, but Lamborghini stresses this is only used when absolutely necessary to help preserve efficiency and natural driving. Speaking of the brakes, in addition to selectable brake regeneration, the Revuelto makes use of carbon ceramic stoppers at each corner. 10-piston front calipers bite down on 16.1-inch discs, up from 6-piston calipers and 15.7-inch discs on the Aventador Ultimate. 4-piston calipers and 15.4-inch discs handle braking in back, the latter representing a 0.4-inch increase over the previous Lamborghini flagship. Overall, the result is a car with a chassis that's 10% lighter yet 25% stiffer. The engine is lighter, the transmission is lighter, but Lamborghini hasn't revealed the Revuelto's total mass just yet. As for other tech features, Casa remains the max attack drive mode, but there are now Casa submodes like Recharge that will also prioritize keeping the battery charged. And yes, you can turn off all the stability control systems and just have it, if you dare. Lamborghini will launch the Revuelto near the end of the year as a 2024 model year in the United States, with pricing to be announced in due course. But given the Aventador cost more than $500,000 when it was discontinued earlier this year, don't expect the Revuelto to give you much change from your $600,000 check. Now let's discuss some frequently asked questions about Lamborghini Revuelto. How fast is the Lamborghini Revuelto? The 2024 Lamborghini Revuelto's top speed is greater than 217 miles per hour. A definitive top speed hasn't been announced yet. It can go from 0 to 60 mph in 2.5 seconds, and reaches 124 miles per hour in under 7 seconds. How much horsepower does the Lamborghini Revuelto have? The Lamborghini Revuelto has a combined output of 1001 horsepower from its V12 hybrid powertrain. Its gasoline engine alone makes 813 horsepower. How much does the Lamborghini Revuelto cost? Pricing hasn't been announced yet for the 2024 Lamborghini Revuelto. The Lamborghini Aventador, which the Revuelto replaces, was $500,000 when it exited the scene, so the Revuelto will likely be in that general range. Does the Lamborghini Revuelto still have a V12 engine? Yes, the 2024 Lamborghini Revuelto still uses a big V12. It's an all-new 6.5-liter naturally aspirated engine making 813 horsepower on its own. Is the Lamborghini Revuelto a hybrid? Yes. In addition to its big V12 engine, the Lamborghini Revuelto uses 3 electric motors. 2 are at the front wheels, and a third is mounted with the transmission.